Captain Larry here with a quick tip for some knots on your boat. This has to do with the halyard and how it's the main halyard, how it's attached to the shackle that goes to the top of your sail. And some of you guys will get your boats either new or whatever. If they install a halyard, they should put an eye splice at the end to the shackle. But some of you will find your boats have been commissioned like so, with a bowline at the top and onto the shackle so that it's loose. If you unscrew it and you're trying to mess with it on the foredeck, you can not only use the little pin, but you can lose the whole shackle because it can fly off. Also, the bowline, as you know, can shake out, and as it's going, either when you're releasing it or you're pulling the sail up, it's still pretty loose and getting flapped around sometimes, and it can shake out and the whole line goes down through the mast, and then you're definitely screwed. Couple of things about using a bowline here. First of all, it reduces the line's holding strength by about one third, and which is not good. And the other thing, the bowline is the most overused knot in sailing. Anytime where you're in a situation where the line you would want to be able to untie it under tension and release it. A bowline, you can't do that. It's impossible. You have to, if you don't have a knife handy, then it's going to just stay there. But otherwise, the only way to get a bowline off of a line or something when it's under tension is to cut it. So anytime it's conceivable that the line might need to be untied under tension, then you would never use it you'd never use a bowline to tie it off with it. And two examples are the anchor line, the bitter end of the anchor line, and another one is the line that goes with a life sling. Those should be tied off both with round turn and 2/2 hitches, or some secure knot that you can untie under tension. So here's a good alternative to this, and there's a good reason for it too. You know, besides just this thing can shake off while you're trying to do it. It doesn't reduce the holding strength of the line, and so basically you just have you just make a like so, and then twist this one, 3 or 4 times, and it's the same. The blood knot is the same one we use to tie off a hook. That's what fishermen know it as a blood knot. And you can see you just twist it around and then take it back through the opening here, and then pull it down over this. And I don't know how many turns I got on there, but it's all twisted. I only got 2, which isn't not really enough. But when it gets tight, so first of all, this isn't going to let go. It's stuck on the end. It's not going to come off. You want to have 3 instead of 2 of those, though. And then when the excess, just take it and cut it off pretty close, because it's not going to come untied. And take a lighter to it or whatever. Here's another thing: is that if they've installed a shackle with a pin that comes all the way out, sometime or another you're going to lose that. But good thing to do with that. 2 things you could do is, first of all, either solder something right around the edge right there, so that it doesn't come all the way through, or sort of a stopgap measure in the meantime is just put a very thin piece of rigging tape right there. You just want to make sure you leave yourself enough room so that the line can actually go, the top of the sail can fit through there. The other thing that's a better alternative for temporary until you get a better shackle is to take a piece of parachute cord, tie it on the little hole right there, put a round turn or 2/2 hitches or a stopper knot or whatever, and then either tie it to the top, a short lead, tie it to the top of the halyard on the other side of the knot, or just on the side of the shackle right there, so that it'll stay and won't slip off. So, okay, that's it. Thanks, and I'll try some more knots as they come up.